I had a really public breakup recently. It was a wake up call for me in the sense of like, okay, you're going to do this on your own and you're going to be fine.
Right.
And you're not going to worry about what anyone thinks and has to say, because the relationship was rocky for a very long time. So, because I don't believe another person can break anyone.
Child, listen, this drama between Taraji and Nia Long just turned into a full-blown storm, and it's getting messier by the minute. These two Hollywood powerhouses have had tension bubbling for years, ever since their time on Empire. Word on the curb is that Nia's been throwing subtle shade Taraji's way ever since, allegedly making slick comments about her attitude and her career moves. But baby, this time, Taraji gave Nia something real to stress over. The latest talk across social media is that Taraji might have something romantic going on with inmate Udoka. Yes, that same man who had Nia Long all over the headlines for reasons she'd probably love to forget. Fans online are losing their minds over the rumors, calling it the ultimate plot twist nobody saw coming. Some folks are saying Taraji knew exactly what she was doing, while others think the timing is way too suspicious to be innocent. Now, if you know Nia Long, you know she doesn't play about her image or her emotions. Sources close to her are whispering that she's furious about Taraji getting involved with Udoka and feels betrayed. Like, majorly.
All started over a joke.
Nia reportedly showed up to set late, and one of the male actors said to her,
"Why are you always on black people's time?" Which, amongst the black peoples, is not that big of a deal.
And Nia went off on the dude, which made Taraji jump in and say to her,
"Why are you so mad? Are you on your period?"
Apparently, she thought Taraji was just another colleague, but this new development, it's giving backstabber energy, and Nia's not having it. Meanwhile, Taraji's been out here smiling, glowing, and acting unbothered, which is making people talk even more. Could it be that she's sending a message to Nia without saying a single word? Or is this just another wild rumor blown out of proportion by social media detectives? Either way, this situation is heating up fast. Everyone's trying to piece together how Taraji and Udoka even connected in the first place. Was it through mutual friends, a chance encounter, or something sneakier? And the biggest question of all, is Taraji the real villain here? Or just the latest name caught in the chaos of Nia's love life? I don't know about you, but we gotta break this all the way down, especially if you missed the build-up to this wild situation. So here's the deal. Nia Long and Taraji have been side-eyeing each other ever since Nia joined Empire to play Juliana Lucius's ex back in season 3.
We open doors for brown girls to be exactly who we are, and that's beautifully complicated. And so it's been a blessing and a curse, because here's what I do know. Nia Long knows her light. Nia Long knows her makeup. Nia Long knows her hair. And you probably can't talk me into something else unless you show me. If you want to call that difficult, then sorry.
At first, fans were hyped, like this was about to be legendary. Two powerhouse black queens sharing the same screen? Everyone was tuned in, heavy, waiting to see sparks fly on screen and off. People were even convinced that Nia was going to become a full-time cast member, joining Taraji and Terrence Howard as part of Empire's main lineup. But oh, honey, that's when the smiles started cracking. Viewers began noticing that the chemistry between Nia and Taraji seemed off. Something just wasn't clicking. And you know how the internet gets, though. It didn't take long before fans started connecting dots and whispering about tension behind the scenes. Social media detectives were on the case, analyzing every look, every interview, every tiny bit of shade they could find. Before you knew it, people were digging up old rumors and piecing together signs that these two weren't exactly besties. It didn't take long for everyone to realize something deeper was brewing between Nia and Taraji, and it wasn't pretty. Exactly what the internet detectives were hunting for. The juicy details behind the tension.
Nia Long, if she was with them for 13 years, right, and they still hadn't gotten married, but they were engaged, there was probably some underlying issues there. Maybe this was the straw that broke the camel's back. And when you are a celebrity like that, being publicly humiliated, I think the stakes are a little bit higher. Just like she can't embarrass him publicly, he can't embarrass her. And when one of them breaks that promise, it is devastating.
Word started spreading like wildfire that Nia Long had been acting all kinds of standoffish on the Empire set. Insiders began spilling that she was hard to please and super particular about everything. from her hair and makeup down to her wardrobe and camera angles. People were saying she wouldn't move forward with a scene unless things were exactly how she wanted them, and if something wasn't perfect, she'd let everybody know about it, loudly. At first, folks thought, okay, that's just typical Hollywood diva behavior, right? But nah, the whispers started sounding way more personal. Crew members allegedly said Nia wasn't just demanding, she was competitive, especially when it came to sharing the spotlight with other successful Black women. And that's where things got real spicy, because Taraji was the it girl on Empire. The face of the show, the awards, the headlines, everything. So when rumors started swirling that Nia might have been trying to outshine Taraji, fans couldn't help but take notice. People online started calling it an unspoken rivalry, saying Nia wasn't happy just being a guest star. She wanted to make her mark, and maybe even shake up Taraji's throne. Allegedly, Nia started coming up with her own storyline pitches, pushing ideas to expand her role and trying to carve out more screen time than the writers originally planned. Then suddenly, boom, she was gone. Word hit that Nia wouldn't be returning for season 4, and that's when fans started connecting dots. Insiders claimed her exit wasn't just about scheduling or contracts. It was about ego clashes and power moves behind the scenes. Some even said she was aiming to stand toe-to-toe with Taraji's character, Cookie Lion, and that didn't sit right with the main cast or crew. By that point, the tension between Nia and Taraji wasn't just rumor anymore. It was Hollywood gossip gold, and everybody wanted to know who really forced who off that set. But production wasn't trying to play referee in no on-set catfight. They saw the chaos coming from a mile away and shut that idea all the way down. The producers knew letting Nia's role expand too much would stir up way more mess than magic. And honestly, they were right to be cautious, because Cookie Lion was already an unstoppable force. The face of the show, the queen of the screen, and a character fans adored like no other. Why risk ruining something so iconic just to please another star's ego? Behind the scenes, execs reportedly held meetings about how to keep the peace, and they decided the smartest move was to keep things exactly as they were. They didn't want Nia's ambition to create an on-set power struggle, especially not when Taraji had carried Empire since day one. But when word reached Taraji about what Nia was allegedly trying to pull, baby, she was not here for it at all. Taraji is known for her professionalism, but she's also not one to let anyone disrespect her territory. Sources say she felt like Nia was trying to come for her crown, and that didn't sit right with her. One insider even claimed Taraji told the producers straight up that she wasn't going to play second fiddle to anyone, especially not a guest star. The tension between the two actresses got so thick you could cut it with a knife. Rumor has it, Taraji finally confronted Nia about how she was treating the crew, allegedly snapping at makeup artists, arguing with stylists, and acting too high and mighty for the set. From there, the whole vibe spiraled out of control. Things got so tense that production had no choice but to film their scenes separately. Yep, separately. They couldn't even be in the same room without sparks flying. It was pure Hollywood drama behind the camera, egos clashing, tempers flaring, and everyone on set walking on eggshells, just praying they'd get through the shoot without another explosion. So when Taraji found out that Nia Long was allegedly trying to slide into her spot, insiders say she was shocked and straight up irritated. Like Taraji had worked her way to the top, built that show into a cultural moment. And here comes Nia trying to grab a piece of her shine. It rubbed her the wrong way for sure. But here's where things take a wild turn. Because after Nia left the Empire cast, these two never crossed paths again. Not a single photo, no red carpet run-ins, no Hollywood events, nothing. It was like they had made an unspoken pact to stay out of each other's worlds. Everything stayed cool and distant, until Taraji allegedly started dealing with Ime Udoka. Yep, that Ime Udoka, Nia Long's ex-fiancé and the father of her son. Now that's when things really hit the fan. Nia and Ime started dating way back in 2010, and for a long time, they were that couple everyone thought would go the distance. They even got engaged in 2015 and welcomed their son together. Oh, they seemed solid. But then 2022 came crashing in and everything fell apart when Ime was outed for his scandal with not one, but two married staff members while he was head coach for the Boston Celtics. It was messy, public, and humiliating for Nia, who was blindsided by the betrayal. So now imagine how she felt hearing whispers that Taraji, of all people, was getting close to the man who had already embarrassed her in front of the whole world. That's when the quiet tension between these two turned into something much louder and a whole lot uglier. It was devastating. No other way to put it. Nia Long was completely crushed when the truth about Ime Udoka's affair came out. The headlines were everywhere. Morning shows, gossip blogs, sports outlets, all dissecting her private heartbreak like it was public entertainment. She wasn't just betrayed, she was embarrassed. The man she loved, the father of her child, had not only cheated on her, but did it in front of the entire world. And to make matters worse, it wasn't just one woman. It was reportedly two married staffers from the team he was coaching. Nia, who's always carried herself with grace and class, suddenly found her personal life turned into a circus. Friends close to her said she was humiliated, angry, and emotionally drained. But even then, they said she was trying her best to handle it quietly. No messy interviews, no revenge posts, just dignity. Behind closed doors, she was apparently even considering forgiving him. Yep, insiders say she wanted to move past the scandal for the sake of her son and maybe rebuild her family in private. But here's the gag. Before she could even fully process everything, rumors started flying that Ime had allegedly moved on, with none other than Taraji P. Henson. You heard that right. The same Taraji who Nia had been at odds with ever since their Empire days. Can you imagine that level of betrayal? For Nia, this wasn't just heartbreak. This was personal. When the whispers hit the internet, fans went wild, calling it the ultimate Hollywood plot twist. Insiders said Nia was furious, feeling like the one person she never wanted near her business had suddenly inserted herself right into the middle of it. She felt blindsided all over again, first by Ime's infidelity, and now by Taraji allegedly entertaining the very man who shattered her home. From that moment on, any chance of peace between Nia and Taraji was gone. Whatever tension they had before turned into a full-on silent feud, cold looks, no acknowledgement, and absolutely no love lost. From Nia's point of view, it felt like Taraji was stepping right into the middle of her family. Like she couldn't even heal before someone else was moving in on the man she once planned to marry. To Nia, it wasn't just about love, it was about respect. She reportedly felt blindsided, like Taraji knew the history and still didn't care. Friends close to her said she saw it as a low move, not just a betrayal, but a slap in the face during one of the hardest moments of her life. But on the flip side, Taraji's camp painted a completely different picture. From her perspective, she hadn't done anything wrong, period. In her eyes, Nia and Ime were done. And once that chapter was closed, everyone was free to move how they wanted. Taraji allegedly told her people that she wasn't about to let anyone guilt her for finding a connection after two grown adults had already gone their separate ways. And let's be real, Taraji's always been confident and unbothered, so she wasn't about to start walking on eggshells to please anybody. Sources close to her say she didn't feel she owed Nia any loyalty, especially since they were never friends to begin with. In Taraji's mind, she wasn't breaking any girl code because there was no sisterhood there to begin with. Still, the timing made everything look messy. People online couldn't help but side-eye the situation, wondering if Taraji had crossed a line or if Nia was just holding on to old resentment. Either way, this was no longer just gossip. It was a full-on Hollywood Cold War, with both women standing firm on their sides of the story. If Nia Long didn't think twice about trying to push Taraji out the spotlight back in the Empire days just to snag that main character role, then Taraji allegedly doesn't see why she should be the one playing nice now. In Taraji's mind, she's just living her life, doing what makes her happy, and refusing to let the past control her moves. If that means Nia ends up feeling a little salty about the situation, well, that's just how the cookie crumbles. Sources say Taraji isn't losing sleep over any of it. She feels like she's earned the right to go after peace and joy, especially after all the stress she's been through in her own relationships. She's not out here plotting revenge, and she's simply choosing herself. But Nia, people close to her claim she still sees it as a betrayal, like Taraji broke some unspoken rule between women, even if they were never close. And now, the internet is split down the middle. Some fans are riding for Nia, saying Taraji should have left that man alone out of basic respect. Others are backing Taraji, arguing that grown folks can date who they want, especially when no one's wearing a ring anymore. Either way, the drama between these two queens has the entire internet buzzing. So what do you think? Did Taraji cross the line by getting involved with Nia's ex? Or is Nia just being petty and holding on to old Hollywood grudges? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to share this video because trust me, the next one is even messier. I'll see you there. Bye, Addies.